CTV News with Jack Morse.
And they tell us we have to get out now and or we're going to be arrested for the trespassing.
Half a dozen homeless people in Orillia looking for a new place to lay their heads tonight. Thanks for joining us. Orillia has cleared a major encampment following public safety concerns. CTV's Rob Cooper is there tonight to find out what happens to the people forced to move on and how the community is responding to the move.
Zach Laughlin of Orillia was one of about 15 people ordered out of an encampment next to the old rail trail yesterday. Today, he's still looking for a new location to live.
It was around, I'd say, like 9 a.m. that they showed up, and they said that we have to get our immediate belongings, like most valuable possessions, more or less, and get out now, or we'll be arrested for trespassing.
Laughlin and several others packed up and say they moved down the trail a little deeper into the bush. Only a few items remain at the location of the former encampment. Staff from the lighthouse in Orillia were on scene with bylaw and police to help those being forced to move on.
Bringing services, connecting people to services in the community, building trust and helping people get to where they need to be able to sustain housing.
The lighthouse says none of the people removed from the encampment were able to take shelter with the facility as it already has a long waiting list for beds. Ontario Provincial Police were on scene with bylaw when the people were ordered out. In a statement to CTV, police say our role was limited to maintaining public safety and preserving the peace. There were no arrests made by the OPP in connection to this matter. People who use the trail regularly say they're happy to see the encampment removed, but admit they feel for the people who are living there.
See what they're going through. Sure. I do understand that, but it's just like the unhealthiness, the garbage everywhere, the drugs. I picked up needles off the trail before.
The city says bylaw and police informed the people at the encampment a week ago that they had to move out. Residents using the trail were complaining of safety concerns.
Because there was some hazardous fires there and some drug paraphernalia there that we had to get rid of. Just for the safety of the citizens and also for the safety of the encampment people that were there.
The county says it also assists people after an encampment removal like this one. Their goal, to get those impacted in contact with the numerous services available. It works closely with the lighthouse. As for Zach Laughlin, he says he's still unaware of what's next.
I just packed up my stuff and put it out in the trail, and now we're just kind of sitting down at a bit further down the trail at the moment until we figure out a new spot.
Councillor Sopola says tenants at another encampment in the city have also been given notice to move out. He expects bylaw to give them about a week before they're forced to move out. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Orillia.
Now for a fire update. Ontario's Ministry of Natural Resources says nearly 175 wildfires are burning in the province's north. Most of them started in the past 10 days, forcing more than 1,800 people from their homes. 12 of 13 evacuated communities are First Nations. Yesterday, a group of First Nations leaders called for public inquiry into Ontario's wildfire response, accusing the province of leaving communities to fend for themselves. Premier Doug Ford insists his government has done everything it can to respond to those wildfires. And as those wildfires continue to rage up north, rescued animals brought out of that region to ours are getting comfy in their new temporary homes. The Georgian Triangle Humane Society welcomed 8 dogs and 1 cat via the Bark bus that came in on Saturday. Staff say the animals are settling in well and they're getting ready to go up for adoption. And that includes a puppy named Sully.
He'll grow into a wonderful dog, and he really started to blossom in his fosters up north, so we're just continuing to foster that. Confidence building for him. This is our first real response to the wildfires. As we know, the north is literally on fire, so their goal is to clear out their current fosters that they have to welcome anybody who's in need or the animals who are displaced during this time.
Right now, we are keeping close ties with Northern Reach Network just to understand this is an ever-evolving situation. So we are anticipating that there will likely be another transfer to be scheduled in the next few weeks.
The Humane Society says anyone interested in fostering or adopting should reach out. That helps them with capacity, making space for more animals to come down from the north. Now, whether long or short a hospital stay can be nerve-wracking, but Stevenson Memorial Hospital is doing what it can to relieve that stress with a 4-legged prescription. CTV's Luke Smart has more.
Meet Nova, Stevenson Memorial Hospital's new therapy dog.
A lot of people know her name already, which is nice to see. They see her coming and with the staff and things like that, and there's always patients and people going through the hallways, and they're always happy to see a furry little buddy.
The hospital has reintroduced the therapy dog program in partnership with St. John Ambulance of York Simcoe Muskoka.
It certainly does a lot, not only for patients, but for students, families, residents, again, of multiple different facilities. Certainly it provides comfort, it provides joy, it provides companionship, sometimes even conversation.
Nova spends her afternoons walking the halls and greeting everyone and is up for anything.
We walk around a little bit, interrupt a few people, just to say hello, and they're happy to see her. There's patients that are waiting in the waiting room. There's patients waiting to be seen. So it's a bit of a distraction for them. I think it's important to kind of change it for a little bit for them. And usually there's a smile attached to that.
The program is making a noticeable difference to not only patients but staff as well.
They don't get to see their pets, and that might be one thing that they're really missing. And Nova might not be their own, but she's a surrogate for a period of time, and they just love to spend time with her.
The perfect companion when times are tough or just need a little break from day-to-day life at the hospital.
What isn't there to like about a dog? Something that's fluffy, that's cozy, that's soft to pet. And typically when people do approach a therapy dog, of course, they're working, so they know that they're going to be approached and be able to provide comfort.
Nova also receiving benefits of every interaction.
I found this has made a huge difference for her. She's actually very interactive. She sees people walking around even day-to-day life, and she wants to approach them. So we could see that she appreciates meeting people and being with them.
The hospital isn't the only one benefiting from the St. John Ambulance York Simcoe Muskoka dog therapy program. Other locations include long-term care homes, as well as community centers and emergency services when they are available. It is time now for our first look at weather, and the rain has disappeared and we are currently seeing a fairly sunny sky out there. Now, we did see some cloud cover earlier on, but it's the temperature that we're really focusing on because it is quite cool outside, if you've noticed. Now, our first look at weather brought to you by the graveldrivewayguy.com, your local gravel driveway expert. We're seeing 19 degrees outside right now. Really can't remember the last time we were under 20 degrees so far this summer. It has been hot. It's a nice break, and those northwestern winds of 30 kilometers an hour are definitely having a factor with this, as those winds are cooler than really what it feels like. Taking a look at temperatures around the region, you are seeing 19 right through Simcoe County. That does include Orillia, as well as Gravenhurst, 18 in Parry Sound, as well as Collingwood. You're seeing about 17 in Mount Forest, 20 in the Alliston region, 19 Newmarket, and 22 in Toronto. Quick look at our radar and satellite. It is smooth sailing after a fairly unsettled start to the week here. We will continue to see those sunny skies. And Jack, we will also continue to see these temperatures slowly start to increase and get back to what we're used to for the summer.
All right, Luke, we'll talk to you again soon. A pair of homes are damaged after an overnight fire spread from one to the other. It happened in the west end of Meaford. 35 firefighters called to the scene, battling flames for over the course of 4 hours to get those fires under control. People inside the second home managed to make it out safely. The other home wasn't occupied at the time. The cause of the fire not yet known. The family of an Innisfil man killed by officers in a 2024 arrest is filing a $17.5 million lawsuit against South Simcoe Police and OPP. On August 15th, Liam Hatton died after he and his twin brother Dylan were shot by South Simcoe Police officers responding to a call to de-escalate a dispute at the family home. Dylan Hatton was charged with multiple accounts of assault against the responding officers. Those charges were dropped late last year. The SIU investigation that followed found that the twins ignored police orders while they were in an SUV in the driveway. When the wheels started to turn toward one of the responding officers, that's when the shots were fired. The SIU later cleared police of any wrongdoing, but Hatton's defense lawyer says officer body cam footage is inconsistent with police notes, saying Hatton should never have been shot. Falconers LLP, the firm representing the Hatton family, says they're committed to seeking justice for Liam and Dylan. A Barrie man is facing serious charges in a 2-month child exploitation investigation. According to Barrie police, they got a report of a child under 14 being lured and exploited through Snapchat. Officers executed a search warrant last week where police say a suspect drove away. The 34-year-old accused pulled over and arrested. One of his electronic devices seized. He's facing counts including luring, making sexually explicit material available to a child, and distributing child sexual abuse material. 2 suspects have been arrested after police seized cocaine, an air pistol, and $18,000 in cash with drug paraphernalia from an Orillia home. Throughout the summer, officers investigated an alleged drug house near Twin Lakes Secondary School. Then yesterday, police went in and arrested 2 suspects, a 42-year-old from Orillia and a 20-year-old from Toronto, charged with cocaine trafficking, possession of proceeds obtained by crime, and possessing a weapon for a dangerous purpose. 3 local men have been arrested in Project Time, a province-wide effort to identify and apprehend child sexual abusers. A 57-year-old from Barrie, a 39-year-old from Barrie, and a 58-year-old from Orangeville all face charges possessing material of child sexual abuse and exploitation. The project involves 26 Ontario police agencies, identified 51 victims, and charged 63 suspects. A traffic stop on Highway 400 in Georgian Bay Township turned into a slew of charges for a Sudbury man. It happened Monday on the noon hour. Officer pulled over a 42-year-old for a traffic offense. Police say the officer arrested him and searched the vehicle, finding a firearm. He now faces more than 7 accounts, including weapons and driving offenses. A Barrie man accused of killing the mother of his child before disappearing in a U-Haul last fall was at a Barrie courtroom this week. The Crown prepared to outline its case for trial. CTV's Mike Arslidis reports.
For the first time in months, Tony Vito Kimienti appeared in a Barrie courtroom to set dates for his preliminary hearing, accused of murdering his spouse, Sasha Charles, last October in Barrie. Wearing a black collared shirt and dress pants, joined by his lawyer David North, Kimienti stood in the prisoner's box to confirm a total of 10 hearing dates in the fall. Kimienti has been behind bars since he was arrested and charged with second-degree murder, accused of killing Charles, whose remains were discovered several days after the couple was reported missing, along with a U-Haul cube truck that had previously been parked in front of Kimienti's McVeigh Drive home for the better part of a year. The couple shared a daughter and had been together for years. Charles was a mother of 2, her family saying her children were her life. She was 46 years old.
We're going to fight for her. We're going to fight for the voice that she couldn't have.
According to court documents obtained by CTV News, police believe Charles was murdered in Barrie in late October, days before investigators asked for the public's help finding her. Investigators spent several days collecting evidence at Kimienti's home, towing away a white Mercedes and dumpster from the driveway. Police have not revealed the circumstances of the alleged murder, including where and how Charles' remains were discovered, but called her death the result of intimate partner violence.
And what we now recognize as femicide.
Kimienti was arrested about a week later in the Stouffville area. He was also charged with being in possession of cocaine. His lawyer did not wish to offer comment at this time. Kimienti is scheduled to return to a Barrie courtroom in September. The allegations against him have not been tested in court. Mike Arslidis, CTV News, Barrie.
South Simcoe police are warning distraction thefts are on the rise after reports in Bradford over the last several days. According to the service, a man and woman are driving around asking for directions. The suspect then distracts and steals valuables such as jewelry right off the person they're speaking to without that victim realizing until they're long gone. Barrie police have also reported similar incidents in recent weeks. If someone approaches you unexpectedly, you're urged to stay vigilant, keep your personal space, and have valuables out of sight. The OPP is looking for 2 men responsible for a series of vehicle thefts in Shelburne and Orangeville. The Dufferin detachment sharing photos of the suspect vehicle, described as a white Volkswagen SUV. Police say 2 men broke into vehicles and stole things, including credit cards, and used those at a variety store in Orangeville. The suspects are described by police as South Asian, 1 6 feet tall with a heavy build and short black hair, a goatee, and large glasses. The second, a 5'10" man wearing a black hoodie and pants. Still to come, you might be wondering, where's the corn? A rough winter and a late spring has pushed the season back, but farmers are now getting ready to harvest. Plus, protecting a unique ecosystem of the riverbank and using up old Christmas trees. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors.
Music, it's a small community, so when something's really good, we all want to be part of it.
We have an amazing music scene here. Having people come together in community, listen to some amazing local artists, brings the downtown alive. It brings our city alive.
Troubadour Festival 2026 is going to be off the hook. We've got the Watchmen, Bahamas, going to be great.
Welcome back. After dealing with drought last summer, sweet corn farmers in our region are hoping for a better year.
All these fun things that get stuck in your teeth, every single one there's one for every kernel of the cob.
After a slow start to the season due to the slow spring, crops are about a week behind in our region. Corn's usually ready at the last week of July, just ahead of the long weekend. But this year it's expected to be in its prime a week later in August.
Everything looks good. Everything looks healthy. Germination was pretty good this year. Last year we had the big drought, so we were hit pretty hard there, and so yields were down and stuff. But so far everything looks really good. So I'm expecting at least an average year, if not a good year.
Now, sweet corn from southwestern Ontario is already available at Hewitt's roadside stands. Volunteers from the Nottawasaga Valley Conservation Area have been busy this summer stabilizing riverbanks. They take old Christmas trees and stick them in the banks along the waterside. That's fighting erosion and making habitats for native species, as well as a place for streamside plants to grow. The program has been running since 2018, restoring 4.6 kilometers of riverbank. That's halfway to their goal. The groups have also put up a 15-meter fence from the riverbank to stop cattle from grazing too close and causing further erosion.
Basically what we're trying to do is extend all of the really good water quality habitat that exists in the headwaters up around Hockley area and extend that all the way down, all the really good water quality, the fish habitat, all the way down through these stretches of Sheldon Creek and the upper Nottawasaga River, all the way down to the confluence of Innisfil Creek.
Now, tree planting, which also helps stabilize riverbanks, will begin next year. If you want to help, they're looking for volunteers now. It's a serious game of hockey, but it's for more than just bragging rights. The 11th annual Mind to Muscle Cup in support of the Barrie Food Bank yesterday. Players from the NHL, AHL, OHL, and more lending their talents.
It's so amazing to see everyone who showed up today. This is the biggest attendance we've had in all 11 years and the most food donations we've ever had, which is so great to see everyone coming together at this time and supporting the food bank and this great hockey event.
The money raised and food collected here goes to fighting food insecurity right in our region. For information on all our local events, along with other stories, you can go to our website. That's where you can watch our news live online and find all those local stories and breaking news as it happens. Just head to ctvnews.ca/Barrie or scan that QR code on your screen now. There's plenty happening around the region this weekend. Here's Bounce 1041 Morning Show host Martin Van Coy with your weekend event listings.
Hi, I'm Martin Van Coy for Bounce Radio, and these are your weekend events for Pure Country 106 and Bounce 1041. We kick things off in downtown Barrie, where the Troubadour Festival returns to Meridian Place on Saturday. Canadian rock legends The Watchmen headline the evening, while a ton of local bands get ready to take the stage at 5 o'clock. New this year, the festival has expanded into a full-day experience with music, arts, and community programming throughout downtown. You can learn more at ctvnews.ca/Barrie. If you're looking for some outdoor inspiration, the Georgian Bay Garden Tour returns Saturday, offering visitors the chance to explore beautiful private gardens throughout North Simcoe while supporting Hospice Huronia and Friends of the Wymarsh. The self-guided tour showcases a variety of garden styles, landscaping ideas, and knowledgeable garden hosts. For more information, you can visit gbgardentour.com. Meanwhile, Penetanguishene is hosting the All Things Canadian Festival on Saturday at Rotary Champlain Wendat Park. The free event celebrates Canadian heritage with live music, food, family activities, and cultural experiences highlighting the community's Francophone, Anglophone, and Indigenous roots. You can learn more at penetanguishene.ca. Lastly, if classic vehicles are more your speed, Open Air Dunlop Classics in the Park takes over downtown Barrie on Saturday. More than 500 classic cars will line the city's main street, along with expanded displays featuring boats, RVs, and outdoor lifestyle vehicles. The event has also expanded into Heritage Park, making this year's showcase bigger than ever. You can learn more at downtownbarrie.ca. Those are your weekend events for Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
Still to come in the show, the danger of wildfire smoke can go far beyond your lungs. Studies now suggest it's a danger for your brain. But first, let's check in with Luke in the garden.
Well, Jack, we saw temperatures under 20 degrees today throughout Simcoe County. It's cold. When's it going to get warmer? Well, you have to stay tuned to find out. But first, let's go and take a look at our campfire conditions. And of course, in the Muskoka region, the rating is set to high. In Simcoe County, it's mainly high and moderate, with Beausoleil First Nation still at extreme. Campfire conditions brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. Call 1-800-JUSTICE. Let's go and take a look at our weather watcher, Abby, now. Abby's hoping for that warm weather to return. She's in her t-shirt and she's going for a walk. Abby, thank you so much for your picture. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to Return to Grace, an electrifying show about the King of Rock, Elvis.
So make sure you're listening Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
This week on Picture This, we want to see how your pets are enjoying the sun. Show us photos of your four-legged or two-legged or feathered or scaled friends having fun. Snap a pic and send it in to picturethis@ctv.ca for a chance to be featured. Now, Luke, I would say that we got a lot of pictures of hot dogs this week.
Hey, that's a good one, but they weren't hot this morning, Jack. It was raining this morning. I'm sure every dog owner and every dog really wanted to be outside. Maybe they're a fan of the rain, but it's been a good day to keep cool, especially for our four-legged friends. I'm sure they've enjoyed their long walks today. And the not so hot weather that we've seen, at least for the afternoon. The rain has cleared, the sun is out, and that's where we really stand today. Let's go and take a look at our temperatures around the region right now. With those humidex, you're not really feeling too much of a difference out there with the humidity. 19 degrees right through Barrie, Orillia, as well as Alliston, Newmarket. You see a degree warmer, maybe 2 in Alliston there. Mount Forest 17, Owen Sound 20 as well. Gravenhurst, Bracebridge, you're seeing about 19 degrees in Parry Sound, 21 in Toronto. Taking a look at the almanac for today, we did reach a high of around 19 degrees, so really not above 20. Our low of 12.7 was around that 5-6 a.m. hour. You probably needed a sweater and a rain jacket if you were outside at that time. Well below the normals that we are used to seeing. 26 degrees and 14. 34 was the record set in 2002. In 1886, 5.6 was that low. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:56 a.m. Let's go take a look at that radar and satellite. Not too much to talk about here. You are seeing some cloud cover further east, but we are expecting that sun to remain out for most of the night and into tomorrow as well. Here are your overnight lows for tonight. Again, we're focusing on the temperatures. It is going to be cool overnight. 11 degrees, mostly clear conditions, 10 in Owen Sound. And into tomorrow, you're going to continue to see that sun really come out. You're seeing 23 right through this area from Owen Sound to Orillia, Wasaga Beach and Barrie included. Mainly sunny conditions will be on the way. Further south we go, overnight lows of 11 in Bradford, Newmarket, as well as Georgina, 10 in Orangeville and 12 in Richmond Hill. Those clear conditions continue. Tomorrow, 24 Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, 22 in Orangeville, 25 in Richmond Hill. You could see a mix of sun and cloud, but that cloud should really be clearing a little bit later on tomorrow afternoon. Your forecast overnight lows for tonight: up north, Huntsville 8, as well as Haliburton 9, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst 12, and Parry Sound. A little bit of partly cloudy conditions there. Waking up tomorrow, you could see the return of some cloud in the morning, but we're going to be seeing mostly sunny conditions out there. 22 degrees in Parry Sound, 23 in Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, as well as Haliburton. So warming up as well, better than the 19 degrees that we are seeing today. It's time now for a look at our extended 5-day forecast, brought to you by Diamond & Diamond Lawyers. And in the Simcoe County region, the rain could possibly return, but don't let it deter you from the Troubadour Festival on Saturday. The temperatures warming up as well. We're going to start the weekend with mainly sunny conditions in 26, 25 on Saturday, 26 on Sunday as well, but we could see more of a chance of some rain there. And then the sun will reappear as we start our brand new week on Monday with a high of around 25 degrees. Meanwhile, in York region, Thursday and Friday are smooth sailing, highs of 24 and 26 degrees. The rain does return for the weekend though, just like up in the Simcoe County region, highs of 27 and 28 degrees. Slight chance on our Saturday. Rain or shine, we will be playing those instruments downtown Barrie. Hope to see you there. Monday, a high of 27 to start the week with a chance of rain as well. Meanwhile, Muskoka, Haliburton, Parry Sound, we will be seeing these temperatures as well. You're seeing highs of 23, 25 on your Thursday and Friday sunny conditions. Meanwhile, Saturday and Sunday, highs of 25, chances of some rain. And of course on Monday, 24 degrees, chance of rain as well. Overnight lows getting a little bit cooler out there, almost like we are almost in August, Jack, but not to worry. The sun will come out as we make our way closer to the weekend, and I'm sure it will stay out for the weekend as well.
All right, thank you, Luke. Look forward to seeing you. Health experts are warning about the dangers of wildfire smoke, that it goes far beyond the lungs. As CTV's health reporter Pauline Chan warns us, it could also pose a risk of dementia.
One bad day won't cause dementia, for example. But the problem is that we're increasingly having bad day after bad day after bad day. And if people don't take the right kind of precautions, then they're just increasing their risk.
Alison Secular is the chief scientist at Baycrest.
Air pollution in general can cause inflammation in the brain. It can cause changes in the ability of the brain to repair itself. It can cause all kinds of other issues and introduce different kinds of poisons and toxins basically into the brain.
She says the particles are so small they can cross the blood-brain barrier. And it's not just trees that burn. Buildings and vehicles also release toxins into the air.
Things like carbon monoxide will be in there. There are things like benzene and formaldehyde.
She says genetics are a small part of our risk factors for dementia, but the ones we can control go by the acronym BRIGHT. B for body movement, so make sure you exercise daily. R is for rest and relaxation, also important for the body's health. I is for involvement.
Socially and cognitively. So social engagement is really highly critical.
G is for glasses and hearing aids, an under-recognized factor in brain function decline. H is for heart health.
If it's good for your heart, it's actually also good for your brain.
And T is for toxins such as alcohol, smoking, and air pollution. So on days like mid-July, when Toronto had the worst air quality in the world.
So for me, if it's a 4 or higher, I minimize any kind of strenuous activity outside. And on a day like a 10 or a 9 or an 8, I would try not to go outside at all.
Secular says precautions such as an N95 mask are a good idea, especially for older Canadians. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Still to come, Troubadour Festival is coming up. We talked to the show's last headliner about just what you can expect. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Country 106. Central Ontario's home for the best country music. After all the bars are closed. Listen to Pure Country 106 on the free iHeartRadio.
Recapping our top stories, 15 people removed from an encampment on the rail trail in Orillia. Some say they're just moving further into the bush. The city says it's a balance of compassion and public safety, and the people there were connected with county staff and the lighthouse. Tony Vito Cimienti was in court today, accused of murdering his wife, Sacha Charles, at the Barrie home. He's been in jail since he was arrested after a week-long search last fall. He'll be back in court in Barrie for 2 weeks in September for a preliminary hearing. Dogs moved out of northern Ontario in the face of spreading wildfires are settling into their temporary homes in our region. The Georgian Triangle Humane Society welcoming 8 dogs and 1 cat getting ready to go for adoption, including a puppy named Sully. Now, just 3 days until the Watchmen take over Meridian Place for the second show of the Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series. And, well, we've got the first show's headliner with us in studio today, the Roadhammer's Jason McCoy. Thank you so much for being here, Jason.
Thanks for having me.
Now, tell me, what was it like headlining Troubadour Festival Concert 1?
Well, it's fantastic. I think every performer loves to, have a beautiful place to play, and you can't get better than the waterfront in Barrie. The organizers of the Troubadour Festival are top-notch, so everything is just the best it can be for the performers and the audience, because, once again, you're at the waterfront in Barrie.
So with your experience, what do you think people can expect for the Watchmen's show coming up on Saturday?
Well, the best part of Troubadour Festival is that it's an all-ages atmosphere, and that doesn't just stand for the show. It's about going downtown, enjoying all the great restaurants we have, the cafes, and obviously just the views. But it's a family experience, Whether you're on stage or you're enjoying the music, you're part of a bigger community.
Now, of course, it's not just you on stage. It's not just the Watchmen on stage. You got the local show openers. Yeah. What advice, if any of them were watching, would you give them ahead of Saturday?
I don't know, because, I've been doing this a few years, but I see these younger acts coming along, and I almost want to get advice from them, because they're just so switched on, so powerful, so energetic, and we've got so much great talent right here in our backyard, and this is the perfect showcase for them.
Now, what is it about Meridian Place that you think makes it such a good venue?
Boy, the stage itself is top-notch. The production we have here in Barrie is great, but it's all about the full experience of being downtown among this beautiful waterfront. And like I said, it's a perfect setting for family fun.
Now, we couldn't bring you in without mentioning it. You've once again been nominated for a CCMA for Country Personality of the Year. What does that mean to you?
I'm nominated for personality. I was hoping they liked my smile, but no. But it's wonderful to be recognized in this way. But recognizing myself is recognizing myself and Carrie Moran of the morning show is what it is. And we love what we do. We love being part of the country community. We love being part of the Barrie and Midland Orillia community. I mean, this is our home, so we get to be right in the middle of the action, and to be recognized for doing something you love is quite the honor.
So what do you think it is about the show that the two of you put together, you and Carrie, that really grabs people and makes it award-winning?
It's the show Carrie puts together, and I just try to hang on. She's just wonderful in being so immersed in the community, and that's what we love to do. We love to know about the events. We love to hear from the callers. We just like to be kind of the center of the activity. It's not about us. It's about pure country, and we just get to have a front row seat to all the fun.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, that's the Roadhammers and Pure 106 morning show host, Jason McCoy. You can find the full schedule of events on our website, ctvnewsbarrie.ca. Our dedicated page is now live under the Troubadour Festival tab. You'll find details about the local opener showcase and everything else you need to know. The threat of new tariffs is hanging over the Premier's meeting in Prince Edward Island as they look for ways to sway the Americans. But today also focused on pressures a little bit closer to home, from energy to health care and national unity. CTV's Maria Saru reports from Charlottetown.
All 13 of Canada's premiers spent most of the day around one table. Much of the conversation stayed in the room, but the broader moment was put plainly.
Nothing unites like a common opponent. And there's no more popular opponent in Canada right now than Donald Trump.
And it seems for now, old domestic divisions were set aside, with premiers from Alberta and Quebec saying separatist sentiment wasn't an issue.
No, I didn't hear any comments on that topic.
Premier Smith?
Yeah, no, it didn't come up.
New Brunswick is.
There was more common ground on health care, with premiers asking Ottawa to pay more.
Today, the country's portion is down to 21%. So we need to see that come back up because the needs are greater.
They're calling for the Canada Health transfer to grow by at least 5% per year starting in 2028. For the territories, energy security is a top priority to protect and power their communities.
One of the key things that's holding us back is our lack of connection to southern power grids.
We found ourselves in a very dangerous situation last winter where we almost couldn't meet the demand. We didn't have enough generation capacity to meet the demand that Yukoners had. That was during a prolonged cold snap.
They're looking to the federal government to help close those gaps.
Tariffs will likely be back at the top of the agenda tomorrow when Prime Minister Mark Carney meets with premiers, and divisions around how to retaliate could make for tense talks. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Sets Canada has released new data on hate crimes in this country. The number of hate crimes reported to police dropped in 2025, 3% compared to the previous year. Hate crimes against the Jewish community were down 16% in 2025, but remained the target of 71% of religiously motivated hate crimes. Data shows overall crime rate in Canada was down 2% last year, with fewer homicides, vehicle thefts, and break-and-enters. Researchers behind a new report examining the jobs of people who've died from opioid overdoses are hoping it'll raise awareness about the number of people hurt by the opioid epidemic. The report found more than a third of opioid-related deaths between 2018 and 24 were people who worked in construction or the trades. The lead author says that agrees with previous findings that construction workers are disproportionately represented, but the study also shows similar death rates in natural resources and agriculture. Canadian Blood Services is appealing for donations due to a shortage of the country's blood supply. CBS says it's dropped nearly 20% since June 1st. There's now a limited supply of many types. That's not sustainable. It needs to be roughly 18,000 appointments a week to keep up with hospital demand. Over the past 6 weeks, they've fallen short by tens of thousands. You can make an appointment online by visiting blood.ca. Well, the summer travel season is well underway, and flight delays because of air traffic control issues are way down compared to last year. NAV Canada is the not-for-profit that does air traffic control across our country. It looked at the number of flights at Toronto Pearson and 3 other major international airports delayed by its staffing or equipment. From May 1st through July 7th, there was a 91% drop in flights delayed year over year. NAV Canada says that's despite an increase in air traffic. The organization credited increased staffing and better planning for the summer. In business news, as tensions with the U.S. disrupt Canada's auto sector, a new report highlighting some positive signals when it comes to car sales. June marked a positive sales month with an estimated 182,000 vehicles sold nationwide, up 1.9% from last year. A stark contrast to the pattern of decreases starting in October of last year. The shift isn't significant enough to consider the longer negative trend over yet, but it's a welcome sight for some given the headwinds the market is facing. The only province that saw fewer auto sales in June compared to last year was right here in Toronto. Looking at our markets down, the TSX was up 116 points. The Dow, though, dropped down 6. The Nasdaq down 146. In commodities, oil went up by $2.49, closing at $86.83 a barrel. Gold was up $75.50, finishing at $4,151 an ounce. And our dollar was up by 0.03 cents, ending the day at 70.98 cents U.S. In sports, the Blue Jays sit 6 games out of the final playoff spot, looking to avoid a 4th straight loss when they continue their series with the Tampa Bay Rays tonight. As the Jays continue to tumble down the standings and the trade deadline approaches, rumors swirl about whether the team will make any moves. CTV's Raheem Ladani reports.
Much like a dark cloud, this Blue Jays season is hanging over their fans.
Other than pitching, hitting, managing, everything is great.
The Jays suffered their 6th loss in 7 games on Tuesday. It's a dramatic drop from their 2025 World Series run, which captivated the baseball world and the entire country. But this season, the team has scored the fewest runs in the entire league and sit last in their division.
There's no secret this is not going to be
it's not going to be easy. This is going to be hard.
Jays management now have a decision to make. Do they continue to chase the slim hope of trying to sneak into a final wild card spot, or do they admit the lost season and sell off some of their assets before the August 3rd trade deadline?
Maybe if they can find a player that's on a longer-term deal that they can bring in for the next season and maybe a couple to come. This team wants to be a competitive team, so they're going to make moves that help them not only for what would be the remainder of this year, even though it probably won't turn out to be a playoff run, but also reloading for seasons to come.
The Jays have a number of players on expiring contracts who would be valuable to playoff-bound teams. The likes of Dalton Varsho, George Springer, Shane Bieber, and ace Kevin Gausman.
I'm not going to think about that too much because I'm a Blue Jay right now, and the focus is this team and this room and those guys. And so, that's where my mind's at right now. But yeah, that is kind of crazy to think about.
Many Jays fans feel it's time to move on.
It's time to start selling, I think.
Get a bunch of young people. Maybe they can grow up and be something.
But others are holding out hope.
If they start winning a lot and get back on a streak, then maybe.
I think they all need to get playing as a team, become united, and just, give it that old Blue Jays go.
Believing the Jays can still swing some late-season heroics. Raheem Ladani, CTV News.
Still to come, a Canadian breakfast cereal that's out of this world, eaten in space by the crew of the Artemis II mission, and that's a big boost back home. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Taking a look at your primetime lineup tonight, back-to-back episodes of The Rookie start at 8 o'clock, at 10, Criminal Minds, and CTV News at 11. It's an out-of-this world boost for a Canadian breakfast cereal after the company was contacted by NASA. Astronauts aided aboard the Orion spacecraft during the Artemis II mission. CTV's Karis Mapp has the details.
A historic launch for Canadians, not only because of the astronaut aboard, but also what helped fuel him during the Artemis II mission.
Canadian Jeremy Hansen, Canadian Space Agency, it makes sense that we're going to support him. He chose our strawberry lavender superseed cereal flavor, and it was approved for launch.
The stellar story began with the cereal company that launched during the pandemic, receiving an email in the summer of 2024.
It was from the Canadian Space Agency, which we didn't really know existed. We obviously are all familiar with NASA, but we kind of ignored it at first. We thought it was a junk email.
Further research proved the email to be legitimate, and the gravity of the space agency's request for Goldie's cereal settled in.
They were looking for a Canadian brand, a product that had super long shelf life, a product that was very light in weight, like the mass is light, a product that is nutritionally dense, easy to prepare, and a product that doesn't crumble like a cookie would crumble.
Once cleared for takeoff, the pair and their product were flown down to Florida for the launch.
We had to get the right amount of product down in time to Cape Canaveral for this launch, and we stocked the ship.
Getting to watch their cereal being part of the pricey project.
I think we were told that it cost $10,000 US per kilogram to get anything into space.
The Daniel duo have been friends for over 30 years now. Schreiber attended Wilfrid Laurier University and now tries to give back to the next generation of students.
They used us as a case study, so it was really exciting, obviously, to be there and share that experience with Schreiber, because obviously that was his old school, and just kind of walking those halls again from a different perspective.
One small spoonful for man, one giant crunch for mankind. Karis Mapp, CTV News.
All right, now it's time for Get Up to Go. Luke, if you could bring one cereal to space, what would it be? I'd pick Captain Crunch.
Oh, that was going to be my pick, Jack. It's my favorite cereal.
It's a good cereal.
It's a great cereal. Listen, maybe you're having cereal for breakfast tomorrow. You're going to be enjoying that sunshine all morning and into the afternoon as well. We got some nice conditions. However, those temperatures are going to still be a little bit more cool. So you got your 12 degrees in Barrie and Newmarket, 10 in Gravenhurst, but it's going to warm up right into the 20s for tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Luke. I'm Jack Morris, and thank you at home for watching. I'll be back on the desk for your news at 11. Until then, give yourself a good night.